I can't actually see in this bright sunlight, can't actually see whether I'm recording, so forgive the extra clumsy start. Well, I've just stopped off at the Blue, and they've taken the Blue, they put the tyre back on. Oops. Oh, are they going to let me go? Yes, he is. So, the end of the story was that they had to use acetylene because one of the nuts on the wheel was just wouldn't come off, so they had to use heat on that. And in order to do that, they had to go back with the tricycle back to Nesta's workshop, bring the two oxyacetylene, oxygen and acetylene, and bring those down with a tricycle and put heat on the nut to get it off. Nothing like heat on your nuts, is there? But anyway, oh, forgot it's a family show. Anyway, it's done, and now we have to go tomorrow and talk to him about fixing up the red. Sometimes and when you have an old vehicle which actually means something to you, it can be a dilemma, can't it? We really don't want to take a huge chance on it, but Nesta, what we'll hope is that Nesta is able to restore, talking about restoration, and tomorrow he'll have a serious look at what work is involved. He has to make a living. We want him to make a living. We want everybody to make a living that works for us. Otherwise, we're not really helping the community or the environment, are we? So we look forward to talking to him and hopefully to being given a fee, a price, which will work for everybody. In the past, when I was doing contracting in the UK, I remember listening into a conversation where a person had said, was talking about someone who had agreed to do some work for them on remodeling part of their house, and one of my other friends, on hearing what the price was that had been given, this was during hard times, and said, wow, how can he do it for that price? And the lady that was having the work done said, that's not my problem. But if you think about it, it is her problem, and to be charged too high is no good, but to be given a price which the person who's doing the work has given out of desperation and taken advantage of that is another thing. So I remember when I started working in California, and I was doing contracting on a personal basis. I would go out and do the work and be paid for it. And strictly speaking, California is so highly regulated that they want everybody to have a license for going to the toilet, it seemed to me, which soon kills private enterprise. But anyway, I remember that I gave a very low price to a lady that I was already doing a lot of work for, and she asked me to do this job, painting the railings that surrounded her swimming pool. Yeah, she was well fixed. But after a few days, it turned out the painting was incredibly detailed and finicky. and to do a good job was taking a lot of time. And she came out to see me one day at the pool, and she said, did you think that it was going to take this long? And I said, no, I didn't. I thought I'd be well finished by now, and yet I was possibly 2/3 through the job. She said, then I have to pay you more. And I was very grateful and said, I'm very thankful for that. Thank you, ma'am. And she said, I'm not happy about it, but it's only fair. So that was the end of that. And now I've seen that the blue is being returned to the work site where it's supposed to be, and it's finishing the delivery that was on board when they took it. And here's everybody. There's been a lot of volunteers today, as you will be able to see. I won't click off just yet. If you look there, I think you can see there, I'm not quite sure. No, are we? No, we're not. No, I'll change it over. Have to stop it. Hey, well, I just did my update video on Lola's house. And of course I arrived unannounced. In fact, I didn't even know I was going to do it myself until I was about to pass the entrance, and decided to stop and go in and have a look at how they're doing. And of course, as luck would have it, isn't it always the way? I've been in this position myself. I slog for hours and hours and hours, and then just sit down for a moment and the boss walks in. So that's really the equivalent of what happened. You could say that I'm the boss there, but I arrived to show what was happening. Of course, ideally for the workers, it would have been better if they'd just finished their break, or they were thinking of taking a break and decided not to, and then, as luck would have it, Murphy walked in. Okay. So I was a little embarrassed for them. I didn't say anything to them, but they were having a break, and when they saw me, they looked very uncomfortable, which is understandable. So they waved their sandwiches in the air as a miming that this is our afternoon break snacks. It's right now 3:19, so it was about 3 o'clock when I went over there. Very embarrassing for everybody. But anyway, that's the Philippine way. Philippine way, no matter what, they have their break. They take their lunch break, no matter what. I've been over to give work to Nesta, and if it's lunch break, if it's 5 to 12, he will say, can you come back after lunch? And so I'll be the customer bringing work, and he'll, sorry, but I'm taking my lunch break, which is exactly what he would do. And there's my blue truck there, so I'm going to have a look and see what's happening. Talking about Nesta, and sure enough, I pass him by. We're in Bagakay right now, where we built a church. Past the church, and we're stopped where the our blue truck is being used to tow the little red over to the workshop of Nesta. And so Nesta is there, and apparently there was a flat tire. It had a flat tire. What is it about flat tires that's plaguing us at the moment? We've had, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, maybe as many as 5 on the Raptor, and now we've got one on the Blue. Let's hope that that's not going to be a similar rash. So I'm going over to have a look now. Okay, well they fixed it, and they found that it was a leak in the rim. So they've cleaned up the rim, which I haven't actually found anybody that did this before. They didn't take the tyre off. They've found that it was leaking and they've stopped it from leaking, which is wonderful. And then they put it back in the truck for me. All extremely pleasant and polite. Yes, I know I should have put my belt on before, but I didn't. Anyway, so I'm back on course now to get to Nesta, who's sitting there at the side of the road with his son-in-law and helper, and they brought on a tricycle, they brought oxyacetylene, which has been used in heaven knows what way, but there'll be a charge for that, which is fair enough. I never begrudge paying. Occasionally I've been very much overcharged, and that has obviously not sat well with me, but it's rare. I found that I'm treated very nicely. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the way that I see things, but that's how it always feels to me. I don't feel that I'm ever really overcharged. There's a couple of instances where it has stood out, and of course I'm not happy about that, but they're so rare. That man now, well actually I should remember that the time when I was charged 500 for doing a flat tire, but that was at the best place, or the most well-connected place in Taliban, and they wanted to charge me 600. The reason that they were doing that is that they were charging me for each hole, each puncture, shall we say. And when I said, I think that's a lot, they took it down to 500. But then the next one that I had, I went to another place which was at the back of Ambicon, and they charged me, I think it was 200 or maybe 300. So I was more than happy about that. This man only charged me 150. So that, compared to all of the others that have been charging me, that seemed too little. So I paid more. Yes, I know, I'm a hero. I paid more. He dealt with me straight away, dealt with me very nicely, politely, and I thought, what the heck. So now we're on the lookout for Nesta, who's still at the side of the road with Blue, waiting for this tyre that has now been repaired. Can only keep my fingers crossed and hope that the solution that our friend there, our 150 friend, charged is the correct solution, that it was the rim, that it's not just going to go down again. We'll have to look and see. And right now I'm about to pull up, and I'll have to do it. Will I have to do a turnaround? No, I won't. I'll pull in front here and cross the road, which is not such a great idea. I'm on the wrong side of the road now, but there's a huge truck here, so they can come and get the tyre, and we'll see what happens from there. I'll be back.